Okay. Let's see if I can move that a little bit further away. This is going to be just a video of me, sorry for the wiggle, of me drawing the shapes back onto the roughed out spoons. And I always start with the neck, and then whichever side has less, I'll start there and work my way around to the side with more. Notice how I'm keeping my hand locked on the table and essentially using that fixed hand point to describe a single arc. And by rotating the spoon underneath it, I can get that arc to be round, I can get it to be oblong, it just depends on how I rotate it. Then I sight down it to figure out how I need to cheat the handle one way or the other to get it to line up. And then I like to do this on a table because it allows me to essentially slide my hand back in a straight line and get the nice long straight lines that are very hard to get otherwise. And notice that I'm doing sort of sketchy back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Like that. Boom. There's one. Let's do the next. So, with these cook spatulas, it's trying to find a balance between having them be totally straight across the tip versus they look weird if they're completely flat across the tip. They need a slight amount of camber to look normal, and then you can get them totally flat in the other dimension. This can be totally flat as opposed to this, and that gets them in good shape. So notice that I didn't define the neck on this one first. That's because it's such a different shape. It just has different things going on. But I'll do the same trick with the handle. I'll sight it. This one looks in very good shape. So all I'm trying to do is just sweeten the lines. And again, by pulling my hand back like this, I can get a nice straight line. And this process of redrawing the shape at this stage really helps me sort of get everything relined and the right dimension, and it allows me to be much rougher early on and not pay attention to all these details, and that gives me speed, which I otherwise wouldn't have. If I was really fussing about these details early on, I wouldn't have the speed that I need. So again, my hand is staying fixed. I'm moving the spoon to get the curvature I want. And I'm just describing this arc with my hand, just like that. You can see how fast I can do this. And that comes from having this process of defining the neck and then doing the small side of the bowl first, using my hand to describe those arcs, then figuring out what I need to do to align the handle, and pulling my hand back along the table like that. There's an eater. Let's see, we're moving right along here. This process, oops, I should do this side first. This process is absolutely critical to how I can do consistent shapes, because it allows me to have roughed out billets that are not necessarily equivalent to one another, but still end up with spoons that look pretty darn close to exactly the same by pulling them together at this stage. Let's see, let's be like that and that. And while I don't normally draw them like this all in one go, this is how I do it. I at least do it on my leg. I'd never try and hold it up in the air and do it there. Let's do a pocket spoon. Now, pocket spoons are a little trickier because I actually find it more helpful to draw the inner rim of the bowl than the outer rim. Because there are no shoulders to help you define things, if you draw the inner rim, it helps be able to see that curvature, that egg shape, the back of the egg shape. And if all you were doing was drawing the outer rim, you wouldn't be able to see that, and it would be a lot harder to tell what was going to be a sweet looking spoon or not. But by drawing the inner rim first, then I can essentially, I'm not going to try and draw the outer rim, but I do start here where it comes into play. And what I'm looking for is alignment. So if I need to adjust the taper, make the taper a little stronger on one side than the other to get the handle weight to align properly, then this is when I do that. Just like that. Good. I always make sure I redraw the curve on the back of the spoon too, because that's really helpful to have that there. And you can see how by establishing the shoulders, it allows me to have really tight shoulders because I pull them up higher than you would normally think to pull them up. Here I go. This motion of using my hand like this, all I'm doing is this. That motion is really crucial for getting a sweet curve. It's much harder to draw a nice curve on a spoon, let alone see symmetry, if you are just trying to do it by eye and sort of hold the spoon in one place and then draw around, because this motion is very different than this motion. And it might feel like you're doing the same thing, but it never works out quite as well. So here and here. Good. I noticed that basically nobody's watching. That's funny. Who is watching? Let me know who it is that's actually watching this. It's funny because if I had to articulate one thing that sets me apart from other spoon carvers, I would say it's my ability to draw these shapes. And yet that's the thing that people are least interested in. It's you, Michael. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Is this helpful? Are you learning anything? All right. And I start describing my arcs. Very good. Very good. And you can see how quickly I'm able to do this. Now, if you're having a hard time, first of all, the arcs will help you achieve symmetry just by having your hand motion be the same. If you get it sort of lined up right, you don't have to think too hard about, is one side heavier than the other. You just do the same arc and you end up, it sort of automatically does it for you. But it also helps you, ooh, this one is really off. So this one is going to have to be like that and like that. What it helps you do is, here we go. What it helps you do is, design is really crucial. So the hand arcs just help you sort of get a consistent shape. And that's it. I gotta go.